Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom.
Hey, it's day 2 of our literature unit. And I have to say, this is one book that I fell in love with when I was a kid. The movie can never be as good as the book, but it's still fun to see, the faces on screen and, what you've pictured, if it really looks like what your mind pictured when you were reading. Now, Tom, I know you didn't read the book, but you saw some of the movie. Was it when you were a young kid or as an adult?
Over the years, various TV programs show segments of the movie, like here's a famous scene,
That's all you've seen?
Right, that's about all I've seen. I've never actually sat down and watched the whole movie from beginning to end.
Oh, so, Tom, I have to say, I've never met anyone who hasn't seen Gone with the Wind, the whole
just
movie.
In parts, just in fits and starts.
Crazy.
But I was going to ask you, if I wanted to see this movie in high definition, can I stream it from one of those sites like Netflix or something? Are they going to have classic Hollywood movies?
I don't think our Netflix in Asia has it. I bet the one that, in America you could get it. But I'm not sure. I haven't looked.
Yeah, there's a lot of old classic movies I'd like to see, but I don't really know which streaming platform to subscribe to. But that's another subject. We are going to continue talking about Gone with the Wind today.
Yep.
And, I'm not very good at these plots, but our main character is Scarlett O'Hara, and we've also got Ashley and Melanie, and who else is in
Rhett Butler.
Rhett Butler, and then there's Charles, too. So there's lots of...
Yeah, but Charles is dead, so don't worry about him.
Oh, right, he dies of pneumonia, that's right. So still, we've got Scarlett, and where we left off, I think they were all stuck in Atlanta.
No, remember, Rhett got a team of horses for them and a carriage, and the ladies thought that he was going to help drive them back to Tara. Instead, he gives them the horses and carriage and says, I'm going to go join the Confederate Army now, be a good guy and fight for my side. Now, we don't think that was the good side, guys, because, they're fighting to keep their slaves. But you can understand if a family, I guess, grew up in the South, they would be loyal. Sometimes during the Civil War, you even had families that were fighting on different sides from each other because, maybe someone in the family felt very strongly about how evil slavery is.
Yeah, just like here in Taiwan, sometimes you have people within a family who support the DPP and other people who support the KMT. Ooh, watch out for that.
Watch out.
You could have some pretty big arguments over dinner there. But again, that's another subject. So let's continue with the plot of Gone with the Wind. Let's read today's lesson from beginning to end. Upon returning, Scarlett finds the fields burned, most of the former slaves gone, and her mother dead. Her father has lost touch with reality due to stress. Scarlett is obliged to earn a living, feed everyone, and tend the fields. She vows to do anything to never be hungry again. Scarlett kills a Yankee soldier in self-defense after he trespasses on Tara with harmful intentions. The war ends, and Ashley comes to Tara. Because of new legislation, taxes on Tara will increase significantly. Scarlett tries to get the money she needs from Rhett, but he refuses. She encounters Frank Kennedy, her sister Sue Ellen's fiancé. He's now a thriving business owner. Seizing the opportunity, Scarlett betrays Sue Ellen and marries Frank to pay the taxes. She becomes shrewd and even cruel in business herself. She later has Frank's daughter, Ella. One day, Scarlett is assaulted on the road by a free black man. Unbeknownst to Scarlett, the Ku Klux Klan retaliates against the man in a violent raid, and Frank is killed. Now that Scarlett has been widowed again, Rhett proposes to her and they move to Atlanta. Their marriage starts happily, but deteriorates after their daughter, nicknamed Bonnie, dies in an accident. Soon after, Melanie has a miscarriage and falls gravely ill. Before she dies, she tells Scarlett to take care of Ashley and Beau. With her blessing, Scarlett could easily divorce Rhett and marry Ashley, the man she has adored for years. Yet she realizes she was only in love with the idea of Ashley and hurries to tell Rhett she truly loves him. However, he doesn't love her or care what happens to her anymore. Sad but not hopeless, Scarlett returns to Tara, determined to find a way to get Rhett back in the future.
Okay, guys, as you can see, there are a lot of marriages, divorces, deaths, different names that we're coming to see in this part as well. Frank and, let's see, who else do we see? Frank and Bonnie. And anyway, we'll explain. So what happens is at the end of day one, remember, she has got the carriage and the horses, and she gets the ladies back to Tara. But once she gets home to Tara, she discovers that the fields have all been burned. So where they grow the crops, the Yankee soldiers have burned everything. And that's what war is about, right? Your enemy comes in and tries to destroy everything they can. So the fields are burned. The slaves, of course, have run off. I would too. And she finds out her mother's dead. Now, her father's still there, but here our writer says he has lost touch with reality due to stress. It's just a nice way to say he's gone insane. You know, I think with all of the destruction and watching his wife die, I think he's just had it and he's just lost his mind. So he's not really there to help her. She has to take care of him. So for the first time in her life, Scarlett has to work to earn a living. It says here she is obliged to earn a living. If you're obliged to do something, it means you're bound to do something. Maybe legally you're bound or morally you're bound. So it's something that she really must do. If she doesn't earn a living and feed everyone, people around her are going to die. She's pretty tough, this Scarlett. But I wanted to mention one of the ways people say, you know, you're welcome after somebody is, if they've done something nice for somebody, instead of saying, oh, you're welcome, actually, it's the way to say thank you, isn't it? If someone does something nice for you down in South, they'll often say, much obliged. If you watch cowboy movies, Western movies from the States, you'll often hear the guys, at least the cowboys, go, much obliged, ma'am. So they're just saying, you know, I really thank you for that. Obliged is the verb to be obligated. It's funny, but the pronunciation changes for the other forms of the word. Obligation is something you're bound to do morally or legally, just the same. Obligation is the noun. To be obliged is the verb. You must use the be form of the verb to be obliged to do something.
Yep, she is obliged to earn a living. She has to earn a living. We could say she has to work for a living now. And, of course, she needs to feed everyone, not like she's going to give them food like to a dog or a cat, but basically it means she has to earn enough money so people can eat.
Find food, yeah.
Yep, and she also has to tend the fields. In other words, she needs to take care of the fields on this former plantation to make sure the crops get grown and harvested and stuff like that. Now, it goes on to say she vows to do anything to never be hungry again. So vow here just means to promise, either to someone else or to yourself. Here it's being used as a verb, but it could also be a noun, to take a vow, to make a promise, for example, when you get married. But here again, as I said, it's being used as a verb. So she vows, she swears, she promises that she'll do anything so that she doesn't have to be hungry again. That is terrible. It's awful. She doesn't like that feeling. She's going to make sure that never happens again.
Now, Scarlett has something that's really scary happen in her life, and she actually has to, in self-defense, kill a Yankee soldier. A Yankee is, of course, a soldier from the north. That's the enemy for those people down south at Tara. She kills him in self-defense. He's found trespassing on her land. If you trespass, it just means you're on someone else's property illegally. You'll often see signs in English on different properties, you know, wherever you are, no trespassing allowed or no trespassing. And they can call the police on you if you go onto someone else's land without their permission. So the war ends finally, and Ashley, who has been serving in the army, he comes to Tara. That's where Melanie is. Because of new legislation or laws that are passed there, taxes on Tara will increase significantly. Ooh. And of course, they don't have any money down there right now. So Scarlett tries to get the money she needs from her good buddy, Rhett.
Rhett to the rescue. Oh, Rhett, can you help us? The government wants to tax our cotton, and we don't have enough money to pay those taxes. So, we need to get some money, Rhett. Can you help us out? But he says, nope, I'm not going to help you out. I refuse. That's your problem. You deal with it yourself. That's your bed. You make it yourself. Or how's that go?
No, you made your bed. Now go lie in it.
That's it. Yeah, I knew I was getting that wrong.
You caused those problems for yourself. Now you have to deal with it. You have to face it.
So again, she asks him for help and he refuses. And she encounters Frank Kennedy, her sister Sue Ellen's fiancé. So she comes across Frank Kennedy. They happen to bump into each other on the street. Hey, Frank. Hey, long time no see. How have you been? And Frank, of course, here just happens to be her sister's future husband. So, I guess she's going to cause trouble there. Hey, this Frank Kennedy, maybe I can use him to get what I want or something. The plot thickens here, but we'll continue talking about this in just a couple of seconds. But let's take a break now and listen to our Chinese teacher.
Hello, my name is Shelby. 现在进行单元13的中文讲解第2天。郝思嘉回到庄园中又有什么故事呢？第1段第1句，一回来他发现田地已毁，之前的奴隶也走了。介系词 upon 加 VING 和 as soon as 意思一样，表意怎么样就怎么样，也可以用 on 加 VING 表示 upon returning 已回来。动词 find 是当作及物动词，后面加受词，再加分词或形容词等，表示发现谁是怎么样子的状态。这句中 find 后面接了3个情状 fields 田地 burned 被烧毁 slaves 奴隶 gone 跑了 her mother 她妈妈 dead 死掉了，分别用3个形容词修饰这些受词，形容他们的状态。第2句，他爸爸与现实脱节，动词片语 lose touch with something touch 触摸，也可解释成联系、能力等。touch 可以说是 contact的非正式说法，多用于日常生活中 keep in touch 或 contact 与谁谁谁保持联络，而和某事某人失去联络时就会说 lose touch 或者是 contact。 在这一句话当中也可以用 out of touch with the reality 来表达与现实脱节。第3句，他被迫谋生养活每一个人。我们来看一下 oblige。oblige 原意使不得不，用法事情加 oblige 加人。例如说，有些宗教要求斋戒 Some religions oblige people to fast。 所以这类动词如果是人当主词，就会用被动形态。在这一句郝思嘉被迫谋生，但是 obliged 本身也是形容词，表示感激的。例如 We are obliged to you for your help。我们很感激你的帮忙。如果将它解释成被迫，那就文意不通。遇到这个字，上下文要看得仔细些。战争结束，他需要钱，瑞德又不借他，而他妹妹的 fiancé 事业好像做得不错哦。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back, guys. We're talking about the plot of Gone with the Wind. Remember, once they get back to Tara, Scarlett sees that the Northern Army, the Yankees, have burned the fields. The slaves have gone. Her mother has died. Her father has lost his mind. So she is in a very tough position for her. She actually has to work. She has to earn a living. And try to get food, get some money to feed everybody that is depending on her. She actually has to tend the fields and actually goes out and does some farming. She vows or makes that very big promise that she'll do anything to never be hungry again. I've never been that hungry, and I'm grateful for that, but I know that people who have been that hungry just never want to go through that again. So I can see where she's coming from. Now, Scarlett is tough, remember? She actually has to kill a Yankee soldier who trespasses on their land in Tara, And she kills him in self-defense. She's so pretty, I'm sure they're going to try to assault her and to hurt her, but she kills him. Now, the war finally ends, and Ashley, remember Ashley is the one that she confessed to loving, and he went ahead and married Melanie, the angel. He comes to Tara. Now, they've had new legislation or laws passed, and now the taxes on their plantation, Tara, are really high. The North is really going after the Southerners, you know. So she has no money, and she needs to find a way to get the money so she can keep Tara. If you don't pay the taxes on your property, the government will take your home. So this is the problem. She goes to her good friend Rhett, remember? He had helped her a little bit, but he refuses to help her this time. So she's sneaky, and she's selfish. And she goes instead to Frank Kennedy, who is engaged to her sister, her own sister, Sue Ellen, and she flirts with him because he has money, and she gets him to marry her.
Yep, he's got money because he's now a thriving business owner. His business is doing quite well. So seizing the opportunity, Scarlett betrays Sue Ellen and marries Frank to pay the taxes. Ooh, she stabbed her sister in the back.
Bad.
She stole her fiancé just because she sees that Frank's got money. Hey, I'm going to marry him.
She doesn't love Frank at all.
Yeah, she just married him for money. She needs to find some money to pay the taxes there. So she becomes shrewd and even cruel in business herself. Shrewd here just means you're very clever in business and you know how to manipulate the market and you know how to cheat people and stuff like that. So
you don't have to cheat, though, but you're not making money out of the goodness of your heart. Yeah,
just being very clever on how things work here. And then the cruelty comes in. She actually learns to smile as she kills, and she later has Frank's daughter, Ella. So now she's got her own child.
She's got two now, remember?
Oh, right. She had one before.
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on to the next paragraph here. It says, one day, Scarlett is assaulted on the road by a free black man. Okay, remember the Civil War is over, so the slaves are now free, supposedly. And this is a free black man and sees Scarlett on the road one day. And he goes, wow, I'm going to assault her.
She's pretty hot. Yeah.
It doesn't say exactly what he did to her, but I guess she didn't like what he did. And unbeknownst to Scarlett, the KKK, or the Ku Klux Klan, retaliates against the man in a violent raid, and Frank is killed. Okay, so I guess they kill the black man, but they also kill Frank in the process here. So, of course, you know what the KKK are. That group of weird guys who hate black people and they wear the white robes and burn the crosses and stuff like that. And they still exist, actually.
They're horrible.
In some form. And they retaliate against this black man. So to retaliate means you get somebody back. They attacked you, so you attack them back.
Yeah, so he's accidentally killed in a violent raid. Usually when we use that word raid, it's when people come in a group. Either, attack a house or family. And actually, we use it in positive ways, too. When the police raid maybe a drug seller's house or something like that. But it's a lot of people descending or coming and attacking together at the same time. So Frank's killed. This is her second husband who has died. And now that Scarlett's been widowed again, Rhett proposes to her and they move to Atlanta. So finally, after all this time, Rhett finally gets Scarlett to marry him. And the marriage starts out pretty good. They have this really cute little daughter. Her name is Bonnie. But here it says their marriage deteriorates after their daughter, Bonnie, dies in an accident. Oh, it's so sad. So if something deteriorates, guys, it gets worse, but it's over a process of time. It's not immediate. So it progressively becomes worse and worse and worse. Your health can deteriorate if you don't take care of yourself. Their marriage and the state of their marriage gets worse. It really is hard on Rhett, especially when Bonnie dies. He loved that little girl.
Okay, so they're having a rocky marriage there because of the death of their daughter. And soon after, Melanie has a miscarriage and falls gravely ill. Now, Melanie is the angel, right, who was married to Ashley? Oh, okay, I got that right at least. I'm keeping track of that. and she gets sick. She falls gravely ill. Not just sick, but gravely ill, which means seriously ill, probably going to die.
Yeah, before she dies, she knows Scarlett's been in love with Ashley and tried to steal Ashley from her. But she is a wonderful soul and she forgives her and she asks Scarlett to please take care of Ashley and Beau. Beau is their son that they had. Melanie and Ashley had Beau. Now, with her blessing, Scarlett could easily divorce Rhett and marry Ashley, the man she has adored for years. So the way is clear for her now, right? She's married to Rhett, but Ashley's wife is gone now because Melanie died. Now, if you adore somebody, you love someone so much, you can adore things too. I have a sister, I would say she adores shopping, just loves it. But it's to love or you just really have great affection for something. But at this point in the book and in the movie, she realizes that she never really was in love with Ashley. I think she can see how weak he is in comparison especially to how strong Rhett is. And at this point, she hurries to tell Rhett, I was wrong all these years. I truly love you. But, sometimes you wait too long and your opportunity just kind of disappears.
Yeah, so if you're in love with somebody, you've got to let those people know as soon as possible. Otherwise, they're going to find someone else.
They'll move on, yeah.
This applies both to boys and girls. And yeah, it's too late. He doesn't love her anymore, and he doesn't care what happens to her anymore. And sad but hopeless, Scarlett returns to Tara, determined to find a way to get Rhett back in the future. And I guess that was a plot line for the follow-up novel, the sequel, which was never finished.
Well, yeah, the author had full intentions to go ahead and write the sequel, the follow-up. Everyone loved the book so much, but she passed away before she could do it. And I was so bummed.
Oh, no.
I remember reading about her dying, and I went, oh, no, we'll never find out. But it gives you a little bit of hope at the end of the book that Rhett just needs some time away from Scarlett, and then he'll come back. He still loves Scarlett, but he's kind of disgusted with her after all that has happened. And at this point in the story, he's still grieving for his little daughter, Bonnie, who passed away. So, so sad. Well, this also was a big moment in movie making, too. I want to mention this. The very famous line from Gone with the Wind is Scarlett, tells Rhett she loves him, and he turns around, and for the first time in movie history, you hear a swear word in a movie.
But we're not going to say it here, are we?
And they had to fight for that line. We had people in the United States that would say, you can't put this in the movie, and that's not good. And they fought for that line, and they managed to keep it in the movie. And now it's probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous line in movie history, I think.
Yeah, and I had a question for you. Does that line actually appear in the book,
It's actually in the book.
It does. Okay, so they had to fight for that line to be in the movie, too.
No, the book, you can write what you want. But in movies back then, oh, yeah, everything was very, very censored, we can say.
Yeah, but now we've got lots of words in movies that you can say all the time.
Too many.
And even though I'd love to say those words here on the air, I'm not going to. But that does bring us to the end of our discussion for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
第二段第6句，抓到机会，他背叛他妹妹和 Frank 结婚。句首 season 是紧紧抓住、把握机会，相当于 grab G-R-A-B 或者 snatch S-N-A-T-C-H， 后面加受词，表示抓住什么。电影《春风化雨》中有个经典台词 Carpe diem， 拉丁语抓住今天，及时行乐。Carpe diem 就是英文中的 seize the day， 抓住日子，别浪费。动词 betray 是背叛、出卖。Betrayed his country， 他背叛他的国家。You betray my trust in you， 你辜负了我对你的信任。如果你不说，但看起来悲伤，那是因为 your eyes betray your sadness， 你的双眼显露了你的悲伤。这时候你的双眼就是 betrayer， 背叛者 betray 加 er。第3段第2行，郝思嘉并不知道3K 党袭击报复曾经伤害他的黑人。 句首 unbeknownst 副词不知的是正式的用字，也可去掉字尾 st 变成 unbeknown， 后面加 to somebody 表达在谁不知情的情况下。例如说 Unbeknown to me, he rents out the house. 在我不知情的情况下，他将房子出租了。Ku Klux Klan 中文翻成 3K 党，取其字首3个 K， 是美国白人主义至上的一个秘密组织。而动词 retaliate 报复，中文讲到报复，英文有不同的用字表达。retaliate 不及物动词，所以后面加介系词 against， 再加对象。其他还有例如 get even with somebody， 或者是 revenge revenge 加反身代名词加 on somebody， 又或者 avenge avenge 加 on somebody。 例如说我要向我的敌人报复，就分别为 I will retaliate against my enemy， 或 I will get even with my enemy， 或者 I will revenge myself on my enemy， 最后或者 I will avenge on my enemy。 有点多，大家辛苦了。下一句的句首 now that， 它不是 now 加 that 的子句哦。 now that 本身是表因果的连接词，既然由于因为相当于 because since 或者是 seeing that。 因为郝思嘉又守寡了，瑞德跟他求婚，不过他们的幸福因为女儿的死亡而恶化，而 Melanie 也生病。到第6句 and 后面的动词 fall 原意是落下、下垂等，这里当连缀动词表变成从某状态变成某状态。例如 He falls asleep after drinking wine， 喝完酒他就会睡着。文章中的 fall ill 变成生病，前面再加 gravely 严重的，表示病得很重，相当于 become seriously ill 或者是 get very ill。 最后郝思嘉察觉他是爱瑞德，而瑞德虽然离开他，但失败有什么好可怕的？改编电影最后一幕，他看着夕阳，对着旷野大喊 After all, tomorrow is another day， 明天又是新的一天。以上是今天的讲解，谢谢收听。
That's it, guys. So we've got one more day to talk about Gone with the Wind. It's one of my favorite parts of our literature units when we talk about the author and some of the themes or some of the messages perhaps that the author wanted to communicate. We hope you'll join us for our next program. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom. Goodbye.
See ya.